In this segment, we're going to take a look at the post-war contributions of Ulysses S. Grant, Robert E. Lee, and Frederick Douglass. After the Civil War, both Robert E. Lee and Ulysses S. Grant urged quick reconciliation between the North and the South, while Frederick Douglass became a leading spokesman for African Americans in the nation. Specifically with Ulysses S. Grant, he urged radical Republicans to not be too harsh with former Confederates. As he was elected president, he served during most of the period that we consider Reconstruction, and he did strongly advocate rights for the freedmen. And he opposed any retribution that would be directed towards the defeated South. Ulysses S. Grant felt that both sides had suffered enough, that any further infliction on either side would simply be wrong. As we take a look at Robert E. Lee, we've already mentioned that he urged quick reconciliation from the South. He said, let's get over it. We fought, we lost, let's move on and get back together. Shortly after the war, he was selected to be the president of Washington College. Today, it's called Washington and Lee University. Robert E. Lee emphasized the importance of education to the nation's future, not just to individuals, but he believed that education would lead the way to a more prosperous future. On a little side note, Robert E. Lee petitioned Congress to restore his rights as a citizen. For the remainder of his life, it was denied. But finally, in 1975, over 100 years after his surrender, Robert E. Lee was expunged and granted full rights as a citizen in the United States. Yeah, he was dead at the time, but at least his family got the honor. Frederick Douglass supported equality for African Americans throughout his life, and especially after the Civil War. He strongly advocated the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments. Recall, the 14th Amendment is going to extend protections at the state level over state governments for all citizens. It's going to define what citizenship is. And the 15th Amendment is supposed to try to get the freedmen the right to vote. He is going to encourage the federal government to take stronger actions to protect the rights of the freedmen, especially in the South, as the Jim Crow era began. Later, he is going to serve as an ambassador of the United States to Haiti, and he will also hold several other very important key positions in the United States government. All appointed, he was not elected to office. Frederick Douglass, Robert E. Lee, Ulysses S. Grant, prominent figures during the Civil War and important leaders after.